I guess having a connection with people. I mean, we all come from different musical genre backgrounds. I'm more from like a psychedelic 60s folk, Ricky Ritchie Havens, Country Joe and the Fish scene, and Blake grew up bluegrass, and Daniel's been doing a lot of praise and worship stuff. And so I think it's cool when we all just come together and do something that's like a sound that's nothing like any of us really listen to. Well, I started out, I was going to be a music business major and then got here and I don't know, decided I didn't want to be that anymore, but I met Clutter my first year at college and we started playing songs together, and then Blake was my judge at the Cowboy Showcase, yeah. And then we played at Earth Day Festival, me and Clutter, and Blake was in Flatland at the time, and so we just stole Blake from Flatland, I guess.
It's hard for me to express verbally a lot of times, so this has just been a really good release to just be able to hit something, like whether I was angry or just wanted to express something. It's like my form of expression that I get to outlet in ways that I can't otherwise, for me.
I feel like for me, music has kind of been a home, and it's like a place that I can crawl in whenever I have anything I want to express, kind of like Clutter was saying. You know, it's like a place I can shut myself up, close the door, and make something for myself, and hope that when I walk out of that room or wherever I'm at, I make it and I hand it to someone else, that they feel maybe a little bit of what I felt when I was either writing the song or deciding to play that song.
Yeah, it's just a great, I mean, it's been a huge impact on my life, and my family's always been musical, and it's just having a busy schedule as well, and taking time to just relax and play music with your friends. It's just a great thing to live for and to do in your life, and I've met so many great people through it. It's just something that's a big part of my life.
I remember hearing Can't Buy Me Love by the Beatles and just becoming so incredibly obsessed with a sound and like an idea. And I remember by the end of that year, I was so absorbed in like Jimi Hendrix and the Grateful Dead, and just a lot of that music that came out of that time period. And but what really made me want to pick up the guitar, what really made me say, you know, I really should do something, was I got a copy of the Free Willin' of Bob Dylan, and that was just kind of like, that was it for me. I was like, that's what I've got to do. I've got to play music. And so Bob Dylan really inspired me to do a lot.
Picture this with me. This is great. So when I was a little kid, my mom used to lead praise and worship on stage at the church with her accordion, and she would sing. And I just remember her being at home, and she would just get out her accordion and play that thing, and then she would like help us memorize stuff for school and memorize scripture, and that really helped me memorize stuff by putting it to a melody, and I'm able to remember that even still. So I just remember my mom just being like doo-doo-doo on that accordion. It was great.
Well, the band name Satori comes from, like, I don't know, I just kind of, one day I was introduced to Chris McCandless, Into the Wild, the story about him and his life, and I'd already had those kind of same feelings that he had. I mean, I related with, you know, just being just fed up with our society and its need for all these material objects and these things, and like, for me, like, my source of happiness has always been through nature. And when I saw like what Chris McCandless had to say through his life and things that he did, and reading the book and watching the film and listening to Eddie Vedder's amazing soundtrack, it really inspired me to do something different. And I went to Colorado, me and Daniel did, and some of our friends, and just it was my first time really in the mountains, and I remember just being in the middle of this mountain, and it was freezing cold. It was like 16 degrees, and it's like rainy, and we're all kind of miserable, but you know, like, it just hit me right then and there that like the most important thing for me in this whole world is what I see when I walk outside my front door. That being able to be outside, around trees, around flowers, everything like that is what's important. And so that's why I named our band Satori. And the album is just a reflection of those feelings of longing and wanting to be a part of nature, wanting to be a part of everything, because that's who you really are. You're a part of this grass and part of these beautiful trees. It's all in part of you.